So this video is to show people how to set up Inquizitive for the first time once they've received their course copy on Blackboard for English 001. I did store the very first Inquizitive activity for students. I stored that link on the Start Here section of Blackboard. All the other Inquizitive activities can be found in the weekly Inquizitive work area of Blackboard, and you can certainly edit that if you have that preference. And then moving down to our weekly Inquizitive work, you'll see at the top the dashboard link. We'll go ahead and create a student set. Okay, so I'm going to click on this link. It's going to prompt me to sign in. Yes, I want to sign in, Coastal email address and the Norton password, and I will click sign in. I'm going to create a new student set from scratch. Click next. This is where you can give it a different title if you want. You can put your last name, the semester, the section number, the actual course title, whatever you prefer. You'll need to select North Carolina from the drop-down menu. If you start typing Coastal's name, it will pop up. Select our college. I would recommend putting start and end dates just a few days before and after, just to pad it a little bit. So I'm going to put August 14th to December 18th. I do want students to be able to self-enroll after the start date. You will have students who do not do this until the end of the first week. And then, do you want your students to enter a campus or school ID when they register? Put no, and then click Create Student Set. And your student set will look like this. It'll list out all of the possible Inquizitive activities you could assign, with really not much else. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the Start Here, week 1, and I'm going to go down to my very first Inquizitive activity, how to use Inquizitive, do X. So if I want them to do their first activity by the Sunday night of the first week of classes, I'm just going to click on this item and select Edit. And I'm going to go into the name of it, and I'm going to change it to a specific date. I believe that Sunday after the first day of classes, that would be the 23rd. So I'm going to put due Sunday, 8/23, 11:59 p.m. to have that in the name of the item. I'm going to leave the URL alone. I'm going to leave all of this alone. The visible to students is the toggle for whether or not they can view it in the gradebook. I'm going to check a due date and make it line up with what I just typed, which is August 23rd, 11:59 p.m. And I'm going to hit Submit. So now I've created the deadline for the How to Use Inquizitive activity for Sunday, August 23rd. Now, I do not have to set a deadline on the Inquizitive side. It is up to you. If you want to talk about the pros and cons of that, let me know. I'm happy to explain that in person. But just to show you how it works, you would click Set, and then I'm going to click on More Activity Settings. And the reason I clicked on More Settings is I wanted to show you that the default setting, the students have to get at least 10 items correct to finish the activity, and the average time for completion is 25 minutes. If you want your students on average to work more than 25 minutes, you can slide this up. If you want them to work less, you can slide it down. I have found that the default setting is about right for my students. For the ones that work more slowly, they're still getting it done within an hour. You can also decide in groups of items in the activity to include and exclude, and that's something you can really dig into yourself if you go through and complete the activity as a student. But I tend to leave all of this as is, leave this on the default, and then I click on the date, and again we said August 23rd, so I'm clicking on the 23rd. It defaults to 11:59 p.m. It may ask you to set your time zone the first time around. That's fine. And then you just hit Save Settings. And then if you go back to your set, you'll see that now that activity has a deadline set. Again, you don't have to set deadlines on the Inquizitive side. You could just set them on the Blackboard side, which I showed you how to do just a minute ago. So what you can do is decide if you want to set up folders to organize your Inquizitive activities into, but other than that, all you have to do is add deadlines over here. The hyperlinks are already correct and are going to take students to the correct activity. If you click on it as an instructor, it will take you to the correct activity and you can view it or you can try it. As students complete activities, you will end up being able to click on a report, a summary report over here, and you'll be able to see individual students and their progress. You can do grade overrides and all sorts of fun stuff. Maybe I'll make a video on that in the future. But right now, with the student set with no students in it, I don't have much action over here. Okay. I want to go ahead and skip down to the Grade Center right now, just to show you what that looks like, the full Grade Center. My hope is that when the course copy went through, that you will have a weighted total that's already correctly weighted and no other total columns. If you have extras, we would need to delete those. Now you can see any of the activities that begin with IQ are Inquizitive activities. I have them set so that students cannot see them because I don't want them to feel intimidated, but all I have to do if I decided I wanted the students to see the first few activities would be to go to the column and say hide from students on off, click that one time, and now the students can see it. And this correlates with the setting on the individual links to the Inquizitive activities where it says available to students. You're doing the same thing there as you would be doing here, which is just toggling their ability to view it in the grade column. Let's just take a peek at this weighted total. All right, so you'll see the primary grade display is a percentage. The secondary display is the RISE co-requisite pass-fail, which is a display category that I created. You'll see 10% for rough draft uploads, 10% for assignments, 20% for the Inquizitive work, and then 15, 20, and 25% for the 111 final draft scores. Although I do see a typo here that it says rough draft. I'll make sure that that's fixed for future course copies. I do apologize for that. You could even go in and if you want to drop their lowest Inquizitive score at the end of the semester, you can do that here. Their other assignments, you could drop those and do it there. And then you would just hit submit if you made any changes to that portion of the gradebook. Okay. Maybe not the world's best video, but hopefully this helps you to navigate the shell a little bit. Don't hesitate to contact me if you have any questions. Good luck with everything.